Yo, what's going on, guys? Snoozman back here with another YouTube video, and today we're actually going to be talking about updated Madden 21 sliders and settings, current and up to date here. So I'm going to show you guys three different things that I've been rocking with here in Madden Franchise. Now I'm going to start with settings in the league settings. Now I did make a video on salary cap, so I do usually rock with salary cap being on, but for these league settings it's off because I made a video on it. But unfortunately it's going to be unrealistic. I'm going to try to make it as realistic as possible though in my league, but always have that setting on. I rock with all pro up here because um, I feel like something like All Madden, which is the next one, is a little bit too much for me. I think it's pretty difficult. Simulation mode, which is pretty realistic. Now, a lot of these I keep the same. There's nothing really different. As you guys can see, I do have the trade deadline off, injury off, pre-existing injury off. Those are the type of things that is a little fantasy style, but I do like having it to where I can trade for guys at any point in time. Use a trade block at any point in time. An injury, any pre-existing injury, I like to obviously play with players that are, let's say, that are hurt in real life. You can now play with them by turning the pre-existing injury off. Now for injury, I don't like how, quickly injuries build up on your team, so that's why I keep that off. Now, I don't know how you guys rock it. I always keep it what it is at 6 minutes. I feel like above that, you can go 7, 8 minutes, that's fine. But for me, I feel like 6 minutes is perfect. And again, you don't really have to touch a bunch of things within here. It's kind of at your own taste of, what you would like to do. So that's just a quick rundown on league settings. Now I'm going to show you guys some sliders here, and I'm going to start with actually gameplay sliders. I'm going to go ahead and talk about player skill and CPU skill. So I'm going to run it down for our skill, which is the player. Quarterback accuracy at 55. I don't like how quarterbacks are inconsistent in this game, so I kind of raised that +5. Pass blocking is a little lower. I feel like that's fair to running backs who are, pretty cheesy in this game. Wide receiver catching, I feel like, yeah, you'll get your animations sometimes, but I am in simulation, and they're not going to make as many ridiculous catches, so I kind of need that boost a little bit maybe. Run blocking, again, cheesy running backs, we don't exactly need it. Little fantasy style right there. We'll turn that down a little. Fumbles, we'll make that more realistic, make more fumbles happen. Our pass defense reaction time, I'm going to make that up, but here's the thing for me and the player skill is I'm going to make the interceptions go down to balance that out. Pass coverage at 51 and then tackling at 47. QB accuracy is still pretty high for the CPU I give, not as high as for me, but they do have higher pass blocking because D-line user skills are pretty easy in this game, especially in franchise if you're playing the CPU. Wide receiver catching, I do give them pretty nice right there because DBs are insane in this game if you just press triangle and all that. So we give them a little bit there. Run blocking the same, fumbles the same, pass defense reaction time. We don't exactly give them, but here's the thing: is we give them way more interceptions because we have such a high rate of accuracy at 55% there, and then at pass coverage at 49, which is just a little under ours, and then tackling at 46, which is just a little under. So that's for CPU skill and player skill right there. I feel like these are very balanced out, and I feel like these are best for gameplay purposes against the CPU. Now, I don't really touch a lot down here, but I do touch two things, and that's fatigue. If you're using mobile quarterbacks, running backs, all that, you're running even hurry-up style. Even when a CPU is having, they can call hurry-up and all this and that, your user is going to get very tired, so it can happen and affect you both ways, and this can, affect you big time. So fatigue, I turned down 10. Now they can have that same thing, same effect, but I feel like fatigue at 50 You feel like it's right, but then you play and it's just not right. I feel like it's a little bit too much. Guys get too tired too quick. I feel like turning it down 10 just a little bit, just a notch, is going to make life a lot easier. And I have another one. I don't think a lot of these are really worth touching, except when you get to the roughing passer. I don't like how the new rules is, even in real life, where you hit a quarterback. They try to protect the quarterback so much they're going to throw a flag. Roughing the passer is very, very annoying penalty. I put that at 40. It was at 50. I put it at 40 because it's very annoying. Both sides of the ball. I'm going to give that to the CPU as well. Let's say I'm not going to be exactly thrilled if they hit me and I get a first down off of them roughing the passer and getting a free penalty for it. I don't think that's worth rewarding myself for first down. So I turned that down for both ways. I feel like that is very realistic in my opinion. And some of these, like holding and all that, you keep the same. I don't feel like these are overpowering in any sense. Now, defensive pass interference, that's fine. Defensive pass interference doesn't really get called often, even though it does in real life a lot. So we can keep that there. That's fine. You could turn it up a little bit, but that's up to you. I'm going to just keep it where it is because it doesn't really happen a lot, and it's kind of hard to create penalties like that anyways. So those are for the league sliders there for gameplays. Now, now this is going to be XP sliders. Now you can do this at your own taste. This can be anything really. This is for offense and defense here. For quarterbacks here, I have it at 130%. Now these all start out at 100%, so you can do this at whatever you would like. But I have the quarterbacks going at plus 30. It's kind of hard unless you have a very young quarterback that's grooming himself into be something. So that's how I did it there to put him at 130. I feel like that's the best for our team. Now halfbacks is kind of hard. Like even like a David Montgomery that I have as a star development guy, low 80s, it's going to be hard for him to go up unless I at least increase him 15%. I don't want to overmax this or go crazy with it because it is a running back. I don't want to juice myself with a running back, but I do want plus 15%. To help him out and get some extra XP. Tight ends are extremely hard to get XP on. Like, these guys are so hard, man. Like, I have a young tight end who's a rookie in Cole Kmet at Star Dev. He is very hard to get up. I mean, 10 years down the line, he might barely see 6, 7 overalls in his favor. And I feel like plus 35% at least is going to be very big. It's the second highest one I put on here on offense. Wide receivers, I put at 138%. I crew stat by 38 just because of the fact that some of these guys at outside receivers, especially at number 2, don't get as much XP as they should. I know recently in Darnell Mooney, Anthony Miller, those type of guys that had very, very good quality years for me, put up nice numbers, and they didn't really go up at all. I feel like for me, in my experience, I had to increase those guys. Even somebody like Allen Robinson didn't go up a lot. He didn't even get a dev up, so I feel like this will help that. Fullbacks, I put it at 105 plus 5. I gave them a little boost. They don't get really any boost, but it's a fullback. I don't think anybody really uses fullbacks that much. Tackles, I feel like, are huge in this game. 150% is going to be huge because tackles is the biggest part of the O-line. It protects your blind side, and it's gonna help you out in halfback stretches and everything. Guards at 120%, I feel like definitely should go up there. Guards are the second biggest part of your O-line. Centers, again, at 108%, that's, I only went up 8. That's fine. I feel like there's some decent centers in the league, and if not, there's ones out there to get. It's not hard. Running up the middle is always kind of guaranteed unless you're playing against, an actual person to use your D lineman on to get past that center. But you're not going to really see a nose tackle blowing up centers around here, playing the CPU in franchise mode. And that's what this channel is about, is franchise mode. So I feel like that's perfect. Defensive ends at 118%. Now, these guys are very hard to get up. You have dominant defensive ends in the game that are still hard to move along with in terms of overall development and everything. So even defensive, unless it's like Chase Young and stuff like that, but I feel like, a lot of young guys who are putting up great numbers, getting themselves into high award accolades and stuff like that aren't getting enough for their their play. So I feel like this is good. Defensive tackles at 115. They have a lot of the same problems. But again, you can user these boys pretty easy there. Middle linebackers as users, these guys go up a lot. That's why I have them lower than these two. Just the simple fact of that. Outside linebackers, again, these guys, again, are very hard to get up. Corners at 120. These guys are hard to get up. They're also hard to trade for. So make the most use out of that. And safeties, I put at the same. And kicker, punter, I put it the same. So you guys can all, screenshot it, pause it, whatever. Go along with this. I think this is very nice for all these franchise settings and sliders. That's basically up to date from how I am doing it on the, and how I'm running my franchises. But that is going to do it for today's video, guys. We are trying to hit 120 subs. We're only a couple away. And again, thank you guys for all the support. If you guys can hit the like button and hit the sub button, maybe comment down below for future videos. But again, guys, that will be it. And until next time, I will see you guys in the next video.